Hey everybody, welcome back to another live stream. Before we get into the show, which will begin in a moment, I wanted to let you know that if you have any questions throughout the stream, remember you can always ask them on our website. We have a live chat support ready and able to help you. My team there is available if you have any questions about any of our products, services, or just have a question for fun. Check it out. Link will be down below in the description.
The stream will be starting shortly, but while you wait, you can check out our sponsors 8cap, Forex Tester, and Superfunded. You can find the links to them down in the description below.
Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to another live stream. I'm in a good mood because I got my coffee. And I hope everybody else is in a good mood. Hope you're doing well. We are back for another live stream here. This is going to be like the third live stream, I guess, in, less than like, 24 hours. 24 hours we've had at this point 3 live streams, and that's just on my channel. We've got shows continuing yesterday and stuff like that on the other channel. It's been a crazy busy day. Why is this kind of lit? You know why it's kind of lit? I think the reason it's kind of lit, this stream is kind of lit, is because this is something, what you guys are watching, this is kind of cool. This stream is the work of, I guess there's 3 or 4 of us total that really make these streams happen. But it's really cool from our perspective on the content side to watch this thing develop over the years. I mean, we've been working on this. The original producer here with us, Chandler, he's been helping us with the live streams. In fact, Chandler, if you're able to, you might want to, or you could hop on the camera for a second, just say hello, give the people what they truly want. Here he is. What's up,
Hello,
Chandler?
everybody.
Yes. So Chandler, real quick, we'll take a on the spot questionnaire for you. How long have you been with us, and how far have the streams come since you first arrived?
Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. That's our loud coffee machine.
Coffee machine's going off.
I've been here since September of 2021. Is that right? 2021?
Yep.
So it's been a little over a year at this point. When I started, we were on StreamYard. I was learning the ropes. There wasn't a lot of customization going on. I just made sure to hit go.
Yeah.
And then we played around with that for a little while. We changed the format around, and then we went to Streamlabs for a little bit. That was an experiment.
Yeah.
Took a few years off my life with that one, but we did it for a little while. And
If
now
you
we're
guys
back here, and I think we've taken what we've learned from Streamlabs and incorporated it into StreamYard.
Yes.
I think StreamYard has never looked better at the moment. So
That's for sure. And I mean, if you guys have been, some of the regular fans, the viewers, you guys have probably seen us have our ups and downs with live streams and stuff. And again, here is I just stand here and sort of look pretty. And I'm like, okay, the stream is working or not. And Chandler's really the brains behind it. So Chandler, thank you for all that you do. And maybe we'll catch up with you a little bit later, and we'll get into some charts here. All right. Thanks, Chandler, for that. And yeah, guys, shout out to Chandler. Him and James both do an incredible job making these streams possible. For those of you guys who are coming to our in-person event, April 22nd, you may even get the chance to meet Chandler and James. They will be there shooting the event, filming and editing for some material from the event. It's going to be so fun. And I can't wait to meet some of you guys in the in-person event. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we do have an in-person event coming April 22nd into Atlanta. We are doing an in-person seminar. It's free to attend. If you guys would like to attend and you're in the Southeast or near where you could potentially come to the event, it's on a Saturday. It's free to attend. There's free lunch. It's going to be great. And it's co-hosted with our partners at Oanda. So if you guys want access to come to the event, click this link. We're going to have Chandler might drop us a link for that. If you would like to click that link, you can get information about the event. And what's cool is that a lot of you guys who are coming to the event also have been showing up to the live streams on a daily basis, which is so cool. Jason and a couple of other you guys. I can't wait to meet you guys. It's going to be fun. Anyways, let's jump into some charts here to get things going. We're taking a look at GBPJPY, which I continue to watch closely. And here, by the way, is that link if you guys want that form to fill that out. Fill that out. That'll let us know that you're coming if you have not already done so. And it will give you some information about the event. So we're taking a look at GJ. And I am at a point where, okay, we've got PPI numbers coming in 8 minutes, which will cause the markets to spike. Thank you guys for all tuning in. I want to, before that news spike occurs, potentially GJ could be impacted. So I'm going to trail stops here. So in terms of trailing stops, the plan here is I'm going to trail my stop. I've marked up the zone. My goal is to put my stop right here and to lock in at this point about $400 on the trade. Now, this is not a massive trade. It is not the most impressive trade of all time. But what I absolutely love about this trade is that it's been one of the most simple trades that I've had in months, and yet one of the most successful in terms of a price appreciation point of view. At this point, since the beginning of this move, the trade is currently floating. It is floating over 195 pips. And guys, that's just in a couple of days. It's been an incredible run up here for the pound yen. And I am currently still holding on to that trade. We're floating about $550 on this particular trade. My S&P 500 trade, which we talked about yesterday, I think has come back to about possibly break even. No, it's still in profit a little bit, but we've given back a substantial amount of that profit that was on the table. You can see what happened for those of you guys who were watching the S&P yesterday. We had a big pop on that CPI. I'm sorry, the CPI numbers. And then sort of the markets got a little fearful because core CPI was not all that impressive. It was really just headline CPI that was the impressive mark. So we had a little initial pop and then the market corrected a little bit. Despite that, I'm still long biased, looking for a breakout again above that 4140. I continue to hold my S&P 500 longs. So we'll keep monitoring that. By the way, guys, I just trailed that stop loss. Let me make sure to update those of you guys who are inside of the Discord channel. And while I do that, one of the producers, if you guys don't mind just dropping the link for people to join the free Discord, we do have a free Discord channel available, and we're going to drop that link there for you right now. So you can see it down in the chat. Click this link, fill that form out, and it will take you to join our free Discord channel. I am currently setting up, let me make sure I get this updated for members. So again, I am updating, what I'm doing right now is I'm updating my GJ trade again. So for those of you guys who are inside of the premium group, we are just going to get that updated so that you guys can see where my stuff is at. So just bear with me as I get this going. Maybe while I get that update rolled out, maybe if James, you want to do a quick read or something from our sponsors, up to you if you want to take that over. If he's ready, all good. If not, it's all good too. I'm just going to update the trade here. So let's see, we're going to go update trade. Actually, sorry, let me make sure I trail the stop.
Yeah, guys. So while Nick is doing that, I'm excited to talk to you about Superfunded. A1 Trading is finally excited to announce our official partnered prop firm, and we've got a pretty awesome offer for the A1 Trading fans today. Superfunded is a new prop firm to enter the space that is looking to fund profitable forex traders. If you have the skills but lack the capital, Superfunded is the answer. With Superfunded, traders are able to take an examination to prove their trading skills and have up to 90 days to pass. Superfunded is ideal for both swing traders and day traders, and even allows their traders to hold positions over the weekend. Superfunded is a funding program powered by 8cap, created for traders by traders. So if you are looking to get funded, check out their examination today, and you can get 10% off the examination fee when you use the discount code A1 Trading. So like I just said, Superfunded is a brand new prop firm to enter the space, and we are super excited to be working with them. They are brought to you by the people of at 8cap. If you are unfamiliar with 8cap, 8cap's an awesome, amazing, regulated international brokerage. Some of you may be trading with 8cap already. So if you are already trading with 8cap, Superfunded sounds like the perfect fit for you. But we are fans of Superfunded here at A1 Trading. They have different examinations for different account sizes, and who doesn't dream of becoming a funded trader? So if you are interested in checking out Superfunded for yourself, take a look for yourself in the link down in the description below. You can find Superfunded down there. Take a look at their different examinations. They are 100% legit. They are an amazing, amazing prop firm, and we are super excited to be sponsored by them. So yeah, if you want to check out Superfunded for yourself, do it in the links down in the description below. But don't forget to use promo code A1 Trading for a 10% off discount of that examination fee. But with that, I'm going to throw it back on over to Nick. Here we go.
Thanks, James, for filling in there. And yes, guys, I am now officially going to go ahead and lock in this stop on GJ. If you guys are inside of the group right now, head over to, if you have the Discord already, head over to Nick's Trades right here. And under Nick's Trades, I just shared every detail about my update. So I just stopped or I just trailed my stop. We're now locking in at the worst case, 134 pips of profit on this GBP trade. It has been GBPJPY trade. It's been an awesome mover here. And wow, I mean, that chart is just crazy. That thing just has not stopped. And this is why, trailing stops, they don't always look great. But when they look great, they look incredible. Because had I just taken, many traders might take this move, right? They pull back. This is where I entered. They might just take like a move back to the previous high or perhaps a little bit above. Look at where price has gone. This is why, in essence, I trail my stops. You never know how far a trend can run. And so I don't try and call the top of a trend. I try and ride a trend as best I possibly can, which for me means waiting for markets to tell me when it's time to get out. And for me right now, what that means is if it breaks structure. Guys, we've got just a little bit here before the news. We are observing today PPI numbers, which will have a heavy impact on dollar crosses as well as gold in the indices. PPI in recent months has been actually a very, very meaningful report. And so we're going to take a look at this. Gold retesting just shy, as we expected. A retest of that 2030 mark looks very, very close to current prices. I am bullish on gold. I have been bullish on gold. I do not have a trade on gold, unfortunately, but I am looking for one. So I mentioned, unfortunately, take a look at this. Price. And I should go ahead and get my charts ready. We'll come back to gold in a little bit more in just a second. Let's go ahead and get the charts ready. We've got the news dropping here very, very soon. Here's your gold chart on the top left. We've got the euro here, and we've got the pound in the bottom right. So we're going to watch this reaction here, and then we'll observe the numbers. Stick around. This stuff gets interesting after the spike, as that is really where the trading begins, in my personal opinion. I think that's where you find the trade setups. So let's take a look here, see what we can find on PPI numbers here this morning. Let's see if there is indeed any spike. And there we go. Gold. Look at that, guys. Gold just punched through the high, nailed that 2030 mark, just hit 2036 on the opening candle here to the PPI numbers this morning. And there we go. You've got the euro popping as well. The pound is rising. Look at this. Again, it seems like a repeat of yesterday, except for look at this gold giving back its gains, struggling here at that 2030 mark. And again, watch the reaction here across the board. We've got a pop on the pound, a pop on the euro, a pop and a drop on gold, and a little bit of a reaction. Actually, I'm sorry, I had this on the 4-hour chart. Let's look at this on a lower time frame. An initial spike to the upside on the S&P 500. Good for my trade. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys. I don't have my Webull account pulled up, but I'll do that now so that you guys we'll take a look at the trade, see if I'm floating any. I mean, I'm still in the trade, so I know I'm in profit. Let's go here. Yeah, so I'm up $200 on this trade. So very, very mild mover on the S&P for me. It's just because it's a small size. Did that impact the GJ trade? That is the question. Of course, I am still, for those of you guys who are in the group, we're watching GJ here this morning, and it did impact it. Not in the way I was hoping, of course, but again, news can be very volatile. Yesterday, we saw GJ drop on the news only to erase those losses and gain past the highs. So we will see. Sorry, my Webull is wanting to do updates and such. Again, GJ, I continue to trail stops. In the worst case scenario today, if price does drop here beyond support, I'll be out for a $400 profit. So not really a bad situation to be. Let's take a look. Core PPI came out at minus point. Let's take a look. Let's go pull up the numbers, make sure I don't misspeak here. PPI numbers, guys, matter a lot because PPI tracks essentially what businesses, in terms of inflation, what spending is looking like there. And look at this big miss. Wow. Actually, this makes a lot of sense for an S&P 500 rally. Again, inflation is the number one focus, it seems, of the Federal Reserve. And so if metrics are coming out showing that inflation is cooling at a healthy pace, hey, this is not bad. And unemployment claims also came out here this morning at 239,000 claims, slightly higher than expected. Not too much volatility there in terms of what the market was expecting. However, PPI month over month here coming in, and instead of the forecasted 0%, we got us minus 0.5%. That is a pretty substantial miss. Well, I'm sorry, not miss. Lower than expected inflation report. It's not necessarily a miss because it's not like jobs numbers where we want to see the jobs come in well, and if they come out super low, then it's bad, right? In terms of the economic result. But PPI is simply just, it's the change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers. And so if that is down, it's a leading indicator of consumer inflation. When producers charge more for goods and services, the higher costs are usually passed on to the consumer. But if they're lower, that also could potentially be passed on to the consumer, or at the very least lead to decline in inflation, which, as we know, decline in inflation does what to the dollar right now? Down, right? The dollar is down here on this news, and it makes a lot of sense. We're seeing this level of support get broken out here this morning, and this is big, right? A big break to the downside shows that, again, momentum here favoring the bears. We continue to be bearish on dollar, and this is proving to be a very profitable standpoint at this time. Again, continuing to hold on to my S&P longs as well as my gold bias to the upside. Like the stream. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit that like button. We're missing some likes. There's a lot of you guys in here, and we are very low on the likes. Of course, I am going to beg a little bit for your like here this morning, but thank you for all of you guys for tuning in. Let's see. In terms of the markets here impacted, you do have gold moving and attempting, did briefly trade above our targets there of 2030. So congratulations to the gold bulls if you were in on this move. I unfortunately missed it, but we have been calling for a move back to 2030 for a while. So that's a fantastic move there for you. If you've been trading the gold market long here, this is a 1-hour chart that we're looking at. A break above resistance occurred, and we actually even retested these 2030 highs, and now even have traded briefly above it. Watching for a candle to break this. If you're watching gold, in my view, we would like to see for the bulls something like this: a strong candle closing outside, and then retests and continuations. That's how I personally would be watching the gold market. We are solidly back above 2,000 an ounce, which is an impressive move for gold here. And again, congratulations to the bulls out there who have that. Nick, you have a Discord paid version. Yes. So if you would like access to the Discord, if you get the free version, which we dropped the link earlier, if you want the free version, that is available. But within the paid version, that's where you're going to get the trade alerts. So you can see what I'm trading, Frank's trading, and Ivan's trading. We share our full trades with breakdowns, explanations, everything behind the trades, etc. So if that's something you're interested in, here's what we're going to do right now. If you guys want access to the premium version, we are doing our 1-year anniversary sale for the Edge Finder. And with that, we're also going to offer Discord access for massive discounts right now. If you'd like access to that, head over to the link. We're just dropping it in the chat right now. So you can see, send us a direct message here. There is a link to this in the live chat right now. If you want access to the Discord channel, click this link. And it's going to take you to this, what you see on the screen. Click chat now and tell me about your discounts. If you open up a chat, someone from our support team who is in the office right now will set you up with a Discord access or access to the Edge Finder, which is our market scanning software, for a massive, massive discount. We are doing upwards of 40% off for people who message us right now. So if you'd like access to that, if you've been thinking about getting access to the Discord or to the Edge Finder, both of them are on super sale right now. It is literally our biggest sale that we've ever done in terms of percentage. So do not miss that opportunity. If you've been thinking about joining us, it is the time, it is the place. Come join us, get in on the action. Again, link is in the chat right now if you're interested. So let's take a look in terms of Edge Finder. Speaking of that, with the PPI numbers coming out, where does this leave us? What are we bullish on? What are we bearish on? Well, I'll share my thoughts. Of course, do what you want to do, but I'll give you guys my take. Let's take a quick look at retail sentiment and see what the crowd thinks first. So the crowd, and let's make sure we get our latest data here. We're just going to refresh and pull the data here. So looking at the retail sentiment tab, what we can see here is that you've got dollar Swiss, you've got NZD USD, you've got all the majors here. I'm going to go ahead and while we're at it, because we've been talking about gold, I'm going to add gold to the list. And let's start with gold. So what we see here, guys, this is showing us in terms of retail traders, their perspective, their positioning when it comes to gold. And right now, what you can see is that there's about a 61-39 ratio. What does that ratio mean? It means that in terms of positioning, 61% are short biased, and 39% are taking longs. Okay, so if we have that information, why does that matter? Well, we know that retail traders, unfortunately, they tend to lose money. We know this stuff is very hard, and most retail traders lose money in it. So if we know that they're piling into a short trade, that information could be very, very useful for both day traders and swing traders alike. So what we've done as a company, we build software tools. That's what all this live stream stuff, the reason it looks so good is we have a whole team. What we really do and how we make money is we sell software tools that we build. We have a design team. We build these tools for traders, and that's how these streams are made possible. If I'm being completely transparent, that's how this stuff gets paid for. And when I'm talking about data that can be useful to traders, observing the trends of what retail traders are buying and selling is a very, very useful metric that many people love from the Edge Finder. So we built it into the retail sentiment tab. And so when we look at gold, again, 61% of retail traders short, 39% retail traders long. Let's see, does anybody have a specific chart that you guys want to look at in terms of retail sentiment or bias? If you guys have a chart you'd like, please feel free to drop it in the chat real quick. Is the Edge Finder free or paid service? It's paid. If I'm still on that transparency train, we have spent several, if I'm being very, very honest, several hundreds of thousands of dollars in development fees, team fees, that sort of thing, to build this product. And I don't say that to, cause you guys to be pitiful or anything. We've made money doing this, of course, but I'm just telling you how much work has gone into this product and how proud we really are to be able to build tools like this. I was at one point just a guy watching YouTube and trying to learn how to trade. And years later, once I found tools that I liked, the team here has built stuff to help with that process. And I think it's really cool. Let's see, we got Naz in the chat, a couple of NASDAQ requests. Let's see what NASDAQ is doing. Why not? Let's see, first of all, in terms of retail traders, while we're at it, let's drop off the, let's just do indices for a second. So here's your indices, guys. If you want to pause the stream, you're welcome to do that. In terms of retail positioning right now, it seems pretty biased to the downside. Now, the exception is NAS, which is about 50-50, 54-46. We would call that sort of basically a 50-50 bias in terms of retail positioning. JP225, 58% long. But then you get down into things like the FTSE, the DAX, the Dow, the S&P, and even, yeah, I mean, really, all of those, the retail traders are short biased on them, which is especially interesting as they've been rising recently. So we can observe that very often retail traders, they're fading the move. They're selling into a rally like this. And again, I'll be biased here, but I am currently long S&P 500. So let's take a look at that and see what that has been up to recently. So I mentioned I am currently long in this. Here is my trade. Up $160. This trade has gone back and forth a lot, and it's just basically back to break even at this point. But I'm watching the S&P 500, and I'm looking for a breakout here to the upside. If we're able to get this red zone here, if that's able to break, then I'll stay in the trade and I'll look to trail stops. If we break through this level here, I have a stop loss in place. That is where I will cut the trade and say, not interested. That's the simplest way I can put it. I'm currently long, entered into this trade a couple days back, and now seeing if we can catch the breakout above. So that's where we're at with the S&P 500. And again, part of the reason, one of the reasons, is because retail traders are very short biased on it. We use this information to help us find better trades. Okay. So do you think you'll integrate AI into the Edge Finder one day? Possibly. We're not quite there. We still have a long ways to go. And in terms of development, AI would be incredibly complicated, but hey, you never know. I don't want to never say never kind of thing, you know? Let's see. Did anybody have other charts that they wanted to look at? NASDAQ was a quest. Dollar Swiss. In terms of retail sentiment, why not? Let's take a quick look at Dollar Swiss. Is one of the major pairs, of course. Look at this. Look at this, guys. 95% of retail positioning is on the long side of Dollar Swiss. So you have to ask yourself, hey, if I'm a retail trader and I'm long, and that's what all the other retail traders are doing, you sort of have to ask the question like, okay, am I doing something here that I shouldn't be doing? Now, of course, you may have your reasons, but let me be completely honest. When it comes to retail positioning, retail traders are not buying here. When you guys see, when we go over this data together, and again, we do this every day on stream. When we go over this and you see 95% of retail traders long, they're not long here. They are long here, 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 and they're holding on to big losers. Does that make sense? Type yes in the chat if that concept about retail traders makes sense. Do you guys understand that? Type yes in the chat. Again, retail traders, they're not long here. They're long all the way down, holding a ginormous loss. That is how retail traders tend to trade. Now, are there ways to build positions and make money that way? Absolutely, there is ways to do that. But most retail traders do not do it in a anywhere near safe way. What they do is they take huge positions here, huge positions here, huge positions here, and they do that until inevitably one move comes along and it wipes out their whole account. Okay? Gold to the moon. Yeah, what's going on with gold? People saying gold is flying. Look at that, guys. Congrats to the gold bulls here, guys. This is awesome. Reached targets and now has even kept going. Look at this, 2037 printing here. Very impressive rally. My goodness, that is such a move here this morning. So yeah, congrats to the bulls there. It's really, this dollar weakness is just making gold fly. We have to even acknowledge, you know, that this level of support is now technically resistance, right? So if we're looking at the 4-hour chart for the dollar traders out there, we just broke a key support in front of our very eyes this morning with the PPI number. And again, PPI numbers continue to be so important to the market. This is like the third one in a row where the PPI number was very significant to the market and caused massive moves. So yeah, would you say news are good for the market? The news, it just depends which market you're talking about. If you're talking about the S&P 500, if you're talking about the equities market, if you're talking about risk on sentiment, I would say that today's market news was actually pretty risk on. Why is that? Because again, cooling inflation means the Federal Reserve might back off on rate hikes. And if that occurs, then there is a possibility that, again, they will pivot, and we may even see the markets have a good run to the upside. The S&P, the NASDAQ, US 30, it is very much closely watching the Federal Reserve's plans going forward. Hey, Nick, how has your overall performance been this year? It's been really good. Thank you for asking. It's been really, really good. I've caught a lot of gold longs. I've caught a lot of indice trades to the upside. That has been an awesome trade for us this year. We've caught that several times and continue to be bullish on the indices at this time. Fanique, thanks for answering. No problem. That's what we're here for. So let's see what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look and see if we can find some more ideas. I'm curious about the S&P 500. I want to take a look at seasonality for a second. And we're going to switch the asset around here. We're going to go S&P 500. I'm going to put that in play. I want to show you guys something. So seasonality, it's another indicator that we have on the Edge Finder. Seasonality is a very, very simple concept. What we do is we take the last 10 years of data and we basically say, what is the average return in a given month of the year? So right, for example, January, slightly positive, February, slightly positive, March, slightly positive. And we're looking specifically at the S&P 500. April, big up month, right? May, good sized up month. June, up month. July, big up month. August, up month. September, slightly down on average. So I find this very, very interesting. This is seasonal trends, and we're looking at the monthly chart. So the month of the year seasonality when it comes to the S&P 500 is entering into a period where things look pretty optimistic, at least in terms of a seasonal perspective. Adding that to my bias, again, I'm long biased on the S&P, and for that reason, I'm seasonal trends are something that we regularly observe. If we take a look at, for example, GJ, which is a trade that I'm in as well right now, I believe that this one has good seasonal trends as well. Yeah, so you've got the month of April was exceptionally bullish, historically speaking, for the pound Japanese yen. And so that was part of the reason why we took that trade. And again, seasonal trends are like a very simple metric that many traders do not think about, they do not use, but just observing that, hey, during certain parts of the year, certain markets have some historical tendencies that could even be traded off of, right? So again, that seasonality metric can be very, very useful in that regards. What we've done too is that if you have a favorite pair, like for example, if I go look at GBPJPY, we have all these different indicators. And as traders, there's so many things for us to look at any given time. So what we've done is we've taken all of our favorite things, retail sentiment, COT data, economic data, right? GDP, inflation, unemployment. We've pulled all of this stuff into one spot and printed out a bias generated by the metrics that we follow. So when we talk smart money, and we see, well, institutional money is about 50-50 on the pound, but they are very short on the Japanese yen. That's useful information, but so is the seasonal trends, which show that April is a positive month, or the retail sentiment, which shows that the crowd is shorting this asset. What this screen that you guys are looking at does is it pulls all of the data into your specific chart that you want to look at. So if you guys are trading euro pound, if you're trading euro yen, if you're trading gold, if you're trading dollar yen, if you're trading dollar Swiss, doesn't matter. We have all those charts pulled in here, and you can take a look at your favorite one and get the bias from the Edge Finder. Now, of course, this is it's not a holy grail. It's not going to tell you exactly what to do all the time. It's not a crystal ball, but it helps in the sense that it allows you to look at a lot of data very quickly and make more informed decisions. So for example, people ask me all the time, Nick, hey, are you long or short biased in the euro dollar? And I'll say, let me look. And I think it's neutral. So let's see. Yeah, it's neutral right now. If this thing says neutral, there's nothing for me to do with it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to sell it because, again, what I'm looking for is confluence among a lot of different data pieces that I pay attention to. And if there's no confluence there, there's no trade for me to take, despite what the chart looks like, right? So if I'm looking at euro dollar, sure, the chart looks pretty good, but I'd rather buy something or sell something that I have some conviction with in several metrics. So again, we are doing our sale for this this product, the Edge Finder. Again, we've worked really hard in the last year to build it. This is our 1-year celebration sale. And if you want access to it right now, my team just dropped a link. If you click this link that's in the chat, what this will do is it will take you to a place where you can have a conversation with one of our support reps. And the reason I keep promoting this is because we are doing a limited time sale on the product, the Edge Finder. If you want that, click this link that gets dropped, click tell me about your discounts, and people who message us in right now are going to be getting a massive over 40% discount on the Edge Finder if that's something you're interested in. This is literally the best price of the entire year, so that's why we keep talking about it. So yeah, take advantage of that. Do not miss the opportunity to do so. And again, get your hands on the copy a copy of the software if you are interested. Again, it is a one-time fee. One of the biggest perks of the Edge Finder, when you buy it, you don't have to keep paying for it. There's no subscription. There's no, we're not going to, charge you money every month. It is a one-time purchase. You get access and you can use it as long as you'd like. So there you go. So there you go, Jayla. I just answered your question. I'm not too interested in subscriptions. If y'all got a lifetime access, yes. One-time prices. That's what we do. We do not do subscriptions. Well, there we go. Jayla, message in. Let's get you a copy, my friend. And thank you. Shout out to Jayla and a lot of you guys for tuning in every day. You guys have been, we've had so much support on the live streams recently as we've undergone returning back to sort of our normal live stream schedule and getting things sort of back to our old software and things like that. We've had so much support from the community. We get messages like every day just saying like, you guys are doing a great job. And we really do appreciate that because again, it is a daily battle for us here to get this content out. And we do it because of course we love to do it. And we're glad to be here. Speaking of the euro, I mentioned that I don't have a trade set up on it myself, but let's take a quick look and just see how things are going in terms of the euro chart. You can see this thing is in a very strong upward trend. It makes sense. If we're talking about the US dollar specifically, this chart is flowing off this bearish dollar move. Again, why is the dollar bearish? The dollar is bearish right now because it is expected that at some point this year, the Federal Reserve will stop rate hiking. This is what the market is assuming. If they stop rate hiking, that dollar bullish move starts to cool off. It starts to relax, right? Because again, if rate hikes are not happening, rate hikes are what make the dollar, people go into cash, people buy US bonds, things like that. Money flows into the dollar. If that stops, the dollar trade becomes less attractive and people start looking around. They say, hey, the euro has been pretty beaten down over the last year, right? And now we're seeing that trade start to occur going the other direction. In terms of a technical analysis perspective, a huge upward move. If you were bullish, I would say, I like the pullback here from a technical perspective. It's a beautiful chart. I personally don't have a trade set up on it myself, and it's due to not having enough confluence on the Edge Finder, but the chart itself looks nice. Same with the pound. I could say the same thing about the pound. The pound looks really strong, though I do not have a trade set up myself or wanting to buy this. I'm not interested personally. I think the chart looks really healthy to the upside. So especially as we break through resistance here, this is a pretty impressive move for the pound bulls, especially even getting right above that 1.25 without much hesitation. You might have expected some resistance to come into play here, but nope, the bulls were strong. They really just broke right above here. And, if you're watching this thing on an intraday perspective, even breaks and retests could be of interest, just letting this pound dollar run higher. And again, retail traders, we already established that they are shorting this market. So you ask yourself, well, why would I go long up in this? It's already gone up. Well, again, retail traders tend to try and fade moves, whereas institutional money tends to ride moves. And I'm talking about trend following. I'm talking about pullback buying, that sort of thing. At least that's what I've noticed overall. Can you confirm to me that they're indeed supported on TradingView? I want to be able to execute trades straight on the chart, so this is very important to me. Oh, you're talking about Wiseful. You're talking about ACAP. Yes. So they are not on TradingView at this time, I believe. They're, in terms of that contract, I guess, with TradingView. I can't speak too much on it because I don't know. I'm not, part of ACAP, but I believe that they are working to get that resolved and be back on TradingView. And I think I could be wrong, but I think it might depend on which country you're viewing TradingView from, I think. But yeah, they're trying to get back on TradingView. Getting on TradingView is hard. It's because it's a US, I believe it's a US company, or at least it has, it respects like regulations for certain jurisdictions and that sort of thing, and does all the right things in terms of compliance stuff. And so getting on TradingView, you have to be a very reputable broker that checks all the boxes and that sort of thing. So it's not easy to get integrated on TradingView. That's why not a lot of prop firms are doing it, because a lot of them are sketchy. And again, to get on TradingView is in some ways, if you want to get into the compliance, get into the liability word, that disgusting liability word, right? A lot of times what that could hint is that if they put you on TradingView, they're vouching for you, right? So if TradingView has that you on their platform, your broker, etc., they're vouching for you. And ACAP has been there in the past, and I think that fingers crossed they'll be back there pretty soon. They probably just had some boxes to check before they can do that. Now we're going to bring in my trading companion and my friend Frank. What's going on, Frank?
Hey, how's it going?
How's you're back in the office today? What's been going on? How's the charts? What you looking at today?
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep on looking at gold and oil, just the commodities in general, because I'm trying to follow smart money, and seeing like the stock market go back and forth and just show very mixed sentiment overall. Like, I think what we're seeing right now obviously is like a correlation between stocks and commodities, but it's not always that. It kind of goes back and forth. And what we've seen the past handful of weeks is like an increase in activity from institutions, like on the long side for gold and oil,
Yep.
and as well as letting go of stocks, but at the same time, those it's still kind of like rising and taking big moves to either side. So it's hard to tell from an S&P risk on standpoint. It doesn't look very like bullish, I would say. There's like limited upside. I think every time it pushes higher, it makes another
So you're
sell-off.
thinking in terms of risk reward, that there's something more attractive in the gold market than the S&P right now. Is that what you're thinking?
Right. And I'm not saying long term. I think stocks are always it's something
Sure.
you should be scaling in over time. But I think if we were to test like the 4200s, like that's about it. And we're going to hit that, and then we're going to come back down again, and we're going to be range bound. And
Yeah. So Frank, I wanted to ask you about this. So today we got PPI numbers following yesterday's CPI numbers. Both of those numbers came out cooler than expected, which I think is really interesting because, people right now are hotly debating in terms of rate hikes. Some people are saying 25 basis points are coming, and some people are saying no rate hike. They're going to pause and perhaps even pivot in the back half of this year, or maybe even cut in the back half of this year, which of course those scenarios could lend towards more upside for the S&P 500. I think the market is sort of waiting on that. But again, what is your take? You had PPI numbers come out much lower than expected here today, and inflation come out yesterday. The headline inflation dropped substantially, but core CPI came out about as expected. Do you have any takes on that? And does that change any of your thoughts on gold and S&P trades that you're looking at?
Slightly. So I don't really look at core anyways, because it excludes like the two most important things I think about in like terms of consumers. Like they want to know how much gas is going to be like.
Yep.
And
You're of course talking
their
about
energy
food and
bills,
energy prices.
food and energy. Yeah, they exclude those in core. So but looking at CPI, the drop in that is like a good sign. But it's also, interest rates are still at 5%. And we're expecting more to come. Like, I don't think we're going to cut anytime soon.
Right.
If anything, I think we're going to have probably another 25 at some point this year. And
Sure.
I mean, this morning is probably why stocks are up. in the pre-market, just looking at inflation kind of, coming down and like that 2% target sort of in perspective now. So I think short term, yeah, we have some upside, but I don't see much in terms of bullishness in the market overall.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I think in terms of the case for the bullish case, I guess, would just be if by somehow they come out with a 0 rate hike, which is unlikely. The market is sort of expecting 25 basis points. Usually they get it right. I would say consensus when it's strongly correlated. But again, with the most recent inflation numbers, notably the CPI, which the Federal Reserve watches really closely, it'll be interesting to see if we get any surprises there. I generally agree. I don't think that, buying the S&P at the highs or even in if I'm being fundamental about gold, probably not buying gold at the highs either. But pullbacks on both, to me, look pretty attractive. I think you're in somewhat of the same camp, especially with the gold side of things. Would that be fair to say?
No, I totally agree. And also, even if you were to zoom out, like even a year ago, we're kind of in the same spot. There was no bull market even when we were looking at a couple months run to the upside. We were talking about the bear market was over, and then all of a sudden we'd correct and make a leg lower. Like there's really right now it's just going to be back and forth. It's like it's range bound. So like it's not going to go one way or the other for an indefinite amount of time. They're just
I think that's fair. And there's oftentimes what people will have in terms of a take. There's the buyers of this market, there's the sellers of this market, and then sometimes there's just people who are saying I'm buying dips and selling rips, which I think is sort of where you're at, where you're saying like, hey, there's possibly some upside, but we still have a lot of stuff in front of us as well that could be scary for the market. So buy dips, sell rips. I think that's probably a fair assumption for the time being. Oh, my headlight just turned on. That was weird. But yeah, Frank, thank you for coming on. We've got Miko coming on next on the show. Thanks for sharing your take as always, and we'll see you back tomorrow for the next stream.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Yep, no problem. Now we're going to bring in Miko. Say hello to Miko. And Miko, I am welcome back to the stream. Thank you for being here. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Are you still in Rwanda, or have you gone home now?
Yeah, I've gone home, back in the UK. Yeah.
I noticed the scenery change.
That's the way to tell it.
Yeah, Miko, so welcome back to the show. If you guys are not familiar with Miko, he comes on to our show on a regular basis. He's a technical trader, and he's been coming on for a while. I guess, Miko, you've been with us coming back on the show for what, a year now? Is that probably fair?
Could be a year.
Close to.
Yeah, almost anniversary.
Yeah. So Miko, again, welcome back to the show, guys. You can find Miko. We'll drop a link to his channel in the chat as we get started here. Miko, I want to ask you, what is your favorite trade of the day? What are you looking at? What's the top chart on your watch list here?
Well, top chart has got to be USD/JPY. I'm mainly focused on the yen pairs. I'm looking to buy the yen pairs, but a lot of them are kind of flying to the upside without me. So
sure,
USD/JPY is the only chart that hasn't really moved to the upside yet. I understand dollar's quite weak, so I'm looking to see if that might turn. But yeah, I'm looking to see if we can catch the next high low with USD/JPY coming back into some of these areas. We've got the trend line, some support around here. So I'll be waiting to see if I can get some rejection here. There's some other yen pairs that look good as well, but USD/JPY is kind of the only one which really hasn't got going yet. So I'm looking to see if this one can be a part of the action.
So in terms of, you're talking, you've got that upward trend potentially forming. You're talking about a pullback into that blue zone. Where would, for those of you guys who are newer to the stream, I know Miko is more of a swing trader like myself. Where would you put a stop on that sort of trade, and how far would you be looking for that to run if you were able to catch a pullback there?
So my stop loss would just be, my stop loss is always below my entry candle. I use candlesticks to enter, so it's always below the entry candle, but it would be somewhere below that zone as well. So maybe around here-ish, depending on the entry candle. Maybe there's a big wick or whatnot. But yeah, my stop loss will be around this area. The first target I'll probably have will be back to highs. That's where I'll probably start managing the trade, take some partials and go break even.
Sure.
And then I'll probably start looking at this target here. I don't normally push my trades too far. I like to keep my risk reward around the 1 to 3 area. So this would probably be the the secondary target, but most likely this is where I'll start managing the trade around 134 into those highs.
Sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of there is a strong higher low bounce there. And I think part of the big thing there is you mentioned it a little bit that the dollar yen specifically has trailed behind the rest as the dollar's been weak. But at the
Yeah.
very same point, the dollar is incredibly weak, but the yen is even weaker, right? The yen is
Yeah.
getting crushed. So there is sort of
Yeah.
that if there is any turn in the dollar, any relief in the dollar yen could have that potential to really, really jump. So yeah, I like that idea. Thank you for sharing that. And Miko, if you guys are not familiar, like I said, he has his own channel. You could check out his channel, which has just been linked in the chat. If you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. And Miko's going to take over the stream here for a little bit and do some chart markups with you guys. So Miko, enjoy the stream. Thanks for coming on, man, as always.
Much appreciated, Dick. Much
See you later.
appreciated. So yeah, see you, Dick. So yeah, guys, any pairs you guys want me to take a look at, feel free to drop it down in the chat. We'll take a look. I'll go through pairs that I'm interested in going into the rest of the week / early next week as well. But yeah, if there's a particular pair or trade idea you want to share, feel free to drop it in the chat and we'll take a look. So yeah, like I said, USDJPY is a pair I'm looking at in a lot of detail. Price is coming into my area of interest around 132.300. So I will be looking for some entries here to go long. We've just about kissed that zone. So I'll be looking for some signs of rejection on the hourly time frame coming into that area. And like I said, my targets will be back into the resistance here. If I can get 1 to 3 into that high, that 134, more or less 134. If I get 1 to 3 into that, I may not push into that second zone. If it's like a 1 to 2.5, 1 to 2, then yeah, I'll probably will push it to 135. But either one of those levels probably will be my target. And yeah, I'll definitely start managing the trade around 134. So I'm looking to see if this level can hold for a push to the upside. I understand dollar is still incredibly weak, and I'm still very bearish on the dollar. So don't get me wrong. Has dollar taken out these lows here? Yeah, we haven't taken those lows quite yet, but I would expect dollar to go and do that. I'm kind of banking on the yen weakness for price to push up. You know, if you look across the board, CHF JPY, pound JPY, euro JPY, NZD JPY seen some upside, AJPY seen some upside, CAD JPY seen some upside as well. So I'm kind of looking for USDJPY to join the party, really. Whether or not we get entry confirmations, that'll be up to USDJPY. But we'll be looking for some entries to see if we can get another push back to the upside. And like the other JPY pairs I mentioned, CHF JPY, I'm also very interested in as well. I'm looking for this one to run back to the highs there on the left. Higher time frames are still in a very, very comfortable bullish trend, as we can see. So the probability of the market coming back to these highs here at 151.500 are extremely, extremely high. So I'm looking to see if you can get some corrections and some continuations. So this is my level of interest, 147. A pullback into this type of area, that's what I'm interested to go long and look for another pop to 151.500. We've got all these successive high lows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for another one, a fifth one in that area for the continuation. So hopefully you can see a pullback. For CHF JPY, pound yen as well, I'm interested in as well. Coming into around 164.500. I'm looking for pound yen on the higher time frames, 168, 172. And I'm looking at pullbacks for this one as well. Areas like such. Euro yen is also looking very good, which hasn't hit the highs just yet. I was a little bit unsure if we're going to keep pushing to the highs without me, but there's a chance we could have a pullback. Again, retest some highs around here, 145.500. That will interest me for some longs as well for Euro yen. So I'm still, my main focus is buying a lot of these yen pairs, but USDJPY is the one that's coming to my area right now. So this is the one I've got my most attention on, while some of the other yen pairs may form later this week or maybe early next week. But those are the main pairs I'm focusing on. Any pairs you guys are looking at, drop it down in the chat. Hey Moch, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. I'm seeing NAS Gold. We'll take a look at Euro USD is quite popular as well. So we'll go through NAS Gold and Euro USD. Those are the pairs I'm seeing the most. Okay, so gold last time, yeah, gold's breaking through the highs. So gold looks like it's going to the moon for this one. We've got the all-time highs at 2075. And that's most likely where gold is going to push into. We had a big attempt here during the peak times of Russia-Ukraine back in, was it February or March last year, March last year. We came extremely close to seeing those new all-time highs. We didn't quite do that. We pulled back down. Now coming up for our third test. So there's a lot of liquidity above here. I would be expecting price to go and push through. We might have pullbacks before that. We might not do it in one go. In fact, if we do have pullbacks, that will actually give some of us opportunities to actually get involved with the move. But yeah, the way I look at gold right now is the only option for this one is looking for buys, whether you're on the lower time frames or you trade in the 4H or maybe even higher as well. You want to be focusing on the long opportunities because the probability of us getting to 2075 is pretty high. So areas like such, we just broken through due to the news. This is now going to be a nice place to be looking to long the pair. Really good resistance, broke through with good momentum. If we can see some pullbacks into this area, this is where you want to be looking for some longs around 2028. Got some successive higher lows here as well, as we can see, 1, 2, potentially a third one. This would be a nice little place to do that. Probably got some good fib confluence there as well, coming to that 50%. So I really do like the confluence in that area on the low time frames, maybe entries on the 30-minute or something like that as well. So yeah, the way I see gold is there's a lot of room to the upside. We got 2075 here. We just poked through the highs there. So you want to be looking at retracement and looking for some good confluence to buy it back up again. And 2028, around 2028 is a good place for that. So more upside for gold the way I see it. Euro USD as well. That's a similar pair right now to gold, which last time I checked was flying to the upside. Yeah, has it poked through the highs on the left yet? Looks like it might have done that. Yes, it has. So we've got some new highs there on the daily, weekly time frames. Likely to see some retracement now for Euro USD. Again, unless you're already in the trade, the ship has definitely already sold for Euro USD. Now is not the time to be looking to get involved with Euro unless you're looking to sell at those highs, which I understand is that resistance, but I need a little bit more confidence than that. My main style is going with the flow of things, which is definitely to the upside for Euro. I'm not interested in selling the pair until I see some strong bearish structure. So Euro USD, I was talking on my stream earlier today about a retest of this level here. Didn't quite see that. I was hoping maybe the news could push us down and then we could rally, because this was a very, very nice level of resistance here. So I was looking to see if you can push down with the news and then push up. But the news decided to push up anyway. So again, this is still a good area of confluence, still a good area to long from. And yeah, with Euro USD just poking through those highs, now's a good time to see some retracement. Let's hope we can come back to around the 1.094 mark and then see the next rally to the upside. So for me, Euro USD, similar to gold, looking at pullbacks and looking to buy the pair. And we've got some really good confluence coming into this zone here too. So hopefully you can see some pullbacks maybe later, second half, well, it's more past the second half, today and tomorrow. And maybe there could be some longs coming into next week. But yeah, Euro USD for me, that ship has sailed. Need to see some pullbacks before looking at anything. I'll take a look at NAS next. So yeah, I'll take a look at NAS. I'll take a look at pound USD as well. Seen that recommended a couple times as well. But first, let's take a look at NAS. So NAS is back at support level now. I haven't really been a big fan of this one. I mean, a couple weeks ago, yes, the price was looking good, retesting some nice support. We did see some good bounces here. So a couple weeks ago, I was saying this is a nice little level to buy from. But since then, we haven't actually really gone anywhere. The market's found that resistance and hit its head a few times at that same level. So although we're back at support, obviously the market's finding buyers around here. I'm not too sure what the plan is for NAS because we've got consolidation now. We've got resistance. The market's failing to break through and support as well. So I'm just treating this as a ranging market, and I'm not really looking to do anything in here. There could be some nice sells if you break to the downside, retest, look for the next lower high. We've got one high here, possibly a second lower high, could get a third one on a retest of some lows. Or if the market does want to rally, it would be nice if you can break above the level and you got some nice clean buys into the high there in the lower time frames. A drop to the hourly, get rid of these squiggly lines. If we can break above the range there, a simple break and retest, even a 30, 50 minute, get you a pretty nice trade just to fill that range there to the upside as well. So in this area, not looking to do too much. Don't really look to trade within range bound markets. And yeah, NAS right now is range bound. Yes, you can look to buy low and sell high. Not really the type of trade that I would go for personally. So if we can see a nice break lower, nice impulsive leg, give us that third lower high, there could be some nice shorts, a bit of a counter trend trade, but it could turn into a reversal. Or if you're looking for the buys, break above break above 13,085, back into the highs at 13,200 will look like a very, very clean buy opportunity for US 100. So keep an eye on that, but inside that range is a no-go for me. Pound USD, I will take a look at that one next as well. S&P will take a look too, no problemo. So yeah, Pound USD is actually paired. That's actually my watch list as well. I forgot to mention Pound USD is starting to look interesting with the big break we've had, and it looks like price is starting to clear the highs here on the left. So I'm starting to really take a fancy to Pound USD, starting to break through the highs. I haven't really been liking the price action for pound because we've been trading at these very sensitive regions here. Very strong level of resistance on the left, twice there again. We're trading at the extremes here. I don't really want to be looking to buy and sell in these areas because they're very, very sensitive, faking people out to the upside, as we've seen over here, faking people to the downside, as we've seen over here. So this is where I want to stay away from. I want the market to give me a much more confirmed direction. And it looks like we're breaking to the upside, especially if we can break through these highs on the daily chart. Now, I would be favoring further upside for Pound USD as well. So Pound USD is looking good, starting to break for the highs there. It would be nice if we can really push through on the daily as well. But subsequently, we're just looking for the next higher low to form and the continuation. We might actually get the successful retest of this daily level now that we've faked it to the upside and to the downside. It might be time to actually get that proper retest of the level and get the continuation. Again, got some good confidence with the trend line coming into this 1.245 level. So Pound USD for me looks like a good buy. Like I said, it would be nice if you can push a little bit higher up and also get a good confident daily candle closure. You've still got about 7 hours and 43 minutes before this daily candle closes. So a lot could still happen in that time. But it would be nice if you can get a good confident bullish daily candle closure, maybe break through the high a little bit more, and then we can get the pullback, start tomorrow into the end of the week. And then maybe next week, there might be some nice buys to take it back up again. So that's kind of the plan I've got for Pound USD, but I'm starting to like the setup again. And 1.245 buys around that area is what I will be looking at. Okay, so we'll go through S&P next. I'm seeing EuroCAD a couple times, so go take a look at EuroCAD as well. US 500, this one is a little bit all over the place. Again, kind of classifying this as consolidation. So anything in around here is not really what I fancy. Earlier, we're looking for the retest of the structure before move to the downside into these lows. Looks like the market is having a hard time trying to break through. But altogether, S&P, if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture, we do have this bullish trend in the 4H, which is starting to run out of some juice. As we approach the highs here, we could maybe have one leg higher into that resistance before we might see a bit more downside. But the way I'm looking at S&P is that this is consolidation. So I wouldn't really want to be trading in here. We may be looking to top out with that rejection there. But I wouldn't want to be trading with that one in this area. If you can start breaking through the lows at 40.60, that could be a nice short after the breakout of the lows. But yeah, within here, there might be some nice trades, but personally for me, I would rather price break out the lows here. So I would say keep an eye on 40.70. If that low can break here, we have had a very overextended move to the upside here. Most likely, you'll probably see the market kind of fill that move back down again. So big push up, consolidation, reversal, big push back down, probably exactly to where we came from into this kind of area there. So the shorts do look very, very clean below 40.70. In this area here, it's a little bit more speculative. So I would personally prefer for it to break lower. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. So yeah, EuroCAD, I'll move on to that one next. AUSD as well, I'm seeing that one too. Anthony, you don't use any indicators? No, I do use Fibonacci, and I do use moving averages as well from time to time. But yeah, indicators with Fibonacci moving averages, I do use as confidence for my trades. But that's purely what the indicators are. It's purely confluence, just to increase probability in my favor that little bit more. So yeah, EuroCAD, we'll take a look at AUSD after. So EuroCAD, this one we're favoring buys early on my stream today. We had this kind of triangular pattern, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't really like trading these type of patterns. They're more, they represent consolidation, which is something I try to stay away from. And as you can see, we have these lower highs here building up, but we also had higher lows. So the market's kind of getting ready for a big move. We could break to the downside or break to the upside. It looks like we are breaking to the upside. As you can see, it looks like we are also getting a successful retest of this high here. So I would imagine EuroCAD, as long as we can maintain this structure here with these high lows, I'll be expecting EuroCAD to make its way back to highs at 1.492 and just continue this overall uptrend, which you can see on the daily chart, weekly chart here. The market is still bullish on these higher time frames. So taking that information from the higher time frames all the way down to the 4H hourly, even lower, pretty much all the time frames are lining up in one particular direction now that we've got the breakout of this triangle pattern here. So I do favor more upside for EuroCAD. We're also getting a nice retest on the daily support level here. So that was daily resistance. As you can see, it's now holding a support. So you would imagine us to make our way back to that resistance there. So EuroCAD buys look good. If you're looking to enter, you want price to probably come back down into the support level at 1.47. You don't really want to be entering up here. You can do if you want to. You can have a much bigger stop loss than needed. So it would be nice if the market can come back down and kiss that level again, and then look to take advantage of some buys back up again. So yeah, EuroCAD bullish buys for that one. AUSD, I haven't really been liking the price action for AUSD. It's been a little bit all over the place. Where is Aussie? There we are. So it's been a little bit all over the place. I was expecting price to roll over back down to these lows this week, back into the support level after we broke through this counter trend, counter trend structure. I was expecting us just to leak over back down to the lows, but the market formed a higher low and started to push up again, and now it's back above in this corrective structure. So for me, AUSD, I'm not a fan of the price action at all. Possibly, with this momentum, you could probably look to follow it back to the highs there on the lower time frames, like the hourly. We could see some corrections back down to retest some resistance here, pull back down, retest support, and continue higher into the price swing highs in the 4H. So that looks like an okay opportunity, but to me, this is just a very, very corrective structure, and I wouldn't want to be trading anywhere within this. I want to see some good momentum in the market. We've seen some nice momentum previously. Since then, good momentum here. Since then, it's a little bit dried up. And it's a little bit more sporadic all over the place for AUSD. So on the low time frames, you probably can look to ride the momentum here, short term back to highs potentially, or even back to the resistance here. But personally, for me, I'll be staying away from AUSD. This is just a big kind of consolidation. I want price to give me a lot more confidence in the direction it wants to go in before I look to jump in with AU. So this is the best I can see. But personally, for me, I'll be staying away until I get a bit more clarity on that pair. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook for AUSD. CAD Yen we'll take a look at as well. NZD-USD, I see that pair shouted out. So take a look at NZD-USD. Do I think pound USD will sell off? No, I'm still quite bullish on pound USD. It might retrace because, yeah, it's just poked through some highs there. So it might retrace, but I'm not interested in selling the pair at all. The market structure is bullish. It looks like we're getting a breakout on the higher time frames. I would not be looking to sell pound USD at all. It might head down, but I'm not willing to bet on it. Anyway, we'll take a look at what pair did I say I was going to take a look at? NZD-USD. Completely forget which pair. I'll take a look at CAD Yen. It was CAD Yen. So where is CAD Yen? So CAD Yen, another yen pair, not a particular yen pair that I'm focused on. USD JPY I prefer, CHF JPY I prefer, Euro JPY I prefer, and pound yen a little bit, but mainly those three. So CAD Yen looks okay as well, but we're coming up to some areas of resistance where I don't really want to be looking to buy from. And if anything, I'd actually rather be looking for some sells on CAD Yen. you can see we do have this ever so slight descending channel here. If I clone that trend line, bring it to the downside, you can see here we've got successive lower highs and also successive lower lows. Now we're coming back into this consolidation here, which if we sustain this area, you could actually probably see another swing to the downside. If we get a breakout, that's something else entirely different. We could be looking at a big reversal here, but this is where sellers will be sitting on the higher time frames. Obviously this is a daily chart, but sellers will be sitting around here. So I wouldn't really want to be looking to buy the market around here. But sales are still a bit premature for me. I'm still seeing bullish structure here of high, low, higher, high. So I need to see some lower lows and lower highs before I look to get involved and start selling the pair. So I'm personally looking for something like this to develop around here. We might see some downside. I'm not personally interested in that. This is still bullish structure. I need price to start printing some lows and some lower highs for me to get involved. But yeah, up around these areas here, this is seller's territory for me. So sells look good from around this area based on your strategy or whatever. But in terms of my entries and actually looking at setup, I need something to form like this before I am interested in actually taking any positions for CAD yet. But yeah, I would favor downside if you can hold on to this 99,500 area. And as the USD we'll take a look at, so another dollar pair, I would imagine that one is seeing some upside. Yeah, big push to the upside there. Again, as the USD, I'm not too keen with this one. Price action is hit and miss. It's very, very choppy. It looks like we're approaching back into some key resistance area, possibly maybe a head and shoulders on the cards with the left head there and possibly right shoulder, returning back to that same resistance. Nothing that really interests me, not had much confidence around that area. We have broken some structure here to the downside, but I'm not a fan of how it's moving. It's almost like consolidation. We might see some downside, but I'm not sure how far it will go or how long it will last for USD. So I think there could be some short-term trades here around 0.628. 0.62800. Personally, for me, I'm waiting for a bit more development before I look to entertain any setups on USD, buying or selling. But naturally speaking, that head and shoulder pattern is a possibility. We're coming up into that kind of shoulder resistance. So if you do see some good rejection here, I do think there might be some short-term sells, but nothing that will interest me at this moment in time. I do think a good setup could come on the card soon for USD, but at the moment, I am not interested in USD just yet. Only dollar pair I'm interested is NZD. Is pound USD. Drop likes, he's dropping gems for all of y'all. Much appreciated. Yeah, if y'all liking the stream, guys, make sure you do like the stream. And also, I'm pretty sure Trade Nick and A1 Trading, I've left the link to my channel as well. So if you want to see more of my content, feel free to check that out as well. Which pair to do next? I saw Euro Yen. Okay, I'll do Euro Yen next. Consolidating immediately. No, I do agree with you 100% there, Jayla. If price is consolidating, I am not with it either. Need to see USD make a move upside. Last JPY one that hasn't. Yeah, true. That's a not necessarily a reason why I'm looking to long USD because it hasn't made a move yet. All the other JPY pairs has. It's purely down to the technicals that I'm seeing with USD, but that's also could be seen as a factor. It's kind of a little bit slow behind, obviously, because dollar is very, very weak. So if dollar can see a reduce in that weakness or maybe some strength, I do think that could help USD fly. Again, we don't have to look for anything too crazy. Push back the resistance, take up profit at those highs. You can be done for the day or the week even. So yeah, USD I will be keen to see what price does here. If it starts breaking through, then obviously we might actually be getting continuation lower. So I'll scrap the bullish bias at that point and probably start either looking for sells or just become neutral. But yeah, I am interested in buying USD back up again. But yeah, we'll take a look at which pair did I say? Euro Yen. So yeah, Euro Yen is another yen pair I'm looking at. Prices, breaking through some highs here confidently. There's a good chance we're going to come back at the resistance there around 148. You can see the successive higher lows the market's printing on the higher time frames. for me, there's a good possibility we're just going to come and kiss this level here. We might break through, we might respect it. That's up to Euro Yen. I'm just looking for us to get into that level firstly. So I'm looking for the next high low. We broke these highs, looking for some retracement. The market's quite corrected now, so the chances of us seeing retracement are quite high. And yeah, 145.5, I will be looking for some longs to see if we can get that final push back to highs, and then we can call it a day with Euro Yen and go again from there. But yeah, that'll be the plan for Euro Yen. So main pairs of focus for the rest of the week / going into next week. Euro Yen longs, CHF-JPY longs, if I can see retracement there. All very similar pairs. I won't probably take all these yen pairs. I'll see whichever one forms the best, or if I can get one to break even and then another one forms, then I can probably look to take that second one. But I'll probably just look to trade one of those yen pairs because they're most likely to do something similar. So yeah, USD-JPY longs, CHF-JPY longs, and Euro Yen. Pound Yen looks okay, but I do prefer Euro Yen to it. And then obviously Pound USD as well. I'm looking at a pullback and some continuation. So we'll keep an eye on those pairs. But yeah, guys, that does bring an end to my segment of the stream. I do really appreciate Trade Nick and anyone trading for having me on the stream. If you guys want to check out more of my content, please be sure to go and check out my channel. I'm pretty sure they left the link to that on the live chat, so feel free to check it out if you want to. But yeah, thanks again for having me on the stream, and I'll catch you all next week.
Hello guys, welcome to my part of the stream. So I'm Marko from Markos Trading Journey on YouTube. Let me just open up TradingView. Let's get it up. So the markets are moving. As far as I can see, we're going to do the classic analysis. Basically, a small introduction. So I trade only the 1 hour chart, only 6 pairs. I don't look at absolutely anything else. These are the 6 pairs: EU, EJ, AU, AJ, Pound, NJ. I'm going to run through my 6 pairs. You guys write in the comments any requests, and then I will make sure to do some analysis for you, or any trading questions. Just put everything in the chat and we will get to it as soon as I'm done with my analysis. So the markets are finally moving. I have been doing these streams for the past couple of weeks or months even, and we haven't had any movement, but now the conditions have changed on the 1 hour chart at least. So that's really good. Me as a trend trader, I like to see the markets moving because then I get opportunities. So in January, there were like there were some really good amount of trades. I made like 50-60% profit, something like that. Then February, I lost 3%, so down 3%. March, I was up around 4%, I believe. And April, which is now, I have had only one trade. It was a 1% loss. To be honest, from January, it has been a really slow period. So let's get started. Euro and US dollar. This pair is trending up and I'm looking to buy. What am I seeing? Well, this part looks really, really good. I'm seeing a push up, pullback, and we continue. So I have only 2 entry patterns. I use only 2 patterns to actually execute a trade. First one is the flag, which has 4 points and kind of looks like a flag. And the second one is a very simple pullback, break of the high, and then the retest of the high. And I just get in on the pending buy limit order. So those are the 2 entries I'm looking for right here. I'm definitely interested to buy. This looks really, really good. Also, price action, which is important, very important for the strategy I trade. We have a V reversal and we have a range, after which I do expect the price to start trending up. So in my back testing, I found usually when we get this sort of a setup, price starts to trend to the upside. And basically it's very similar to the cup and handle. So this would be the cup, this would be the handle, and it goes up, right? So very simple stuff. It's even a retail trading pattern, so nothing advanced there. But it just works for some reason. And we're now getting even more momentum for the euro and the US dollar. So this is looking really, really good. As you can see, this was something I was not interested to take. This was very, very range bound. So at this point, I just wait. I don't take any trades. And I look for these sort of phases. So this would be a good trending phase. I believe we had another good trending phase here. This was a nice trending phase. Just look at the blue legs. Really, really high momentum in the blue legs. So that's what I work for. That's what I wait for. And I do wait for a really long time, but in the end, it's worth it. So yeah, just one more thing. This doesn't have to continue. It can also print a V reversal because I never know 100% what will happen in the markets. I only know, let's say 70% of the time after seeing this pattern, price goes up. 30% of the time after seeing this pattern, price goes down. I don't know in this case which one will play out, but in the long run, if I take 100 of these types of trades, let's say 70% of them will actually win and go to the upside. 30% of them will stop me out, give me a 1% loss. So trading works in percentages, and this can go down. EJ, Euro, Japanese yen. This pair actually showed me some potential entries. So let's go through the first one. First one was here. Again, I was seeing a high probability pattern, which is push up, ascending, continuation. This sort of a pattern works really, really well on the Euro US dollar and on the Euro Japanese yen. And after this pattern, I'm really interested to buy. So at this point, I was very interested to see that break and retest, which I will show you just now. So pullback, break the high, nice blue candle, small pullback. I set a pending order on this inside bar on the top of this candle right here. But unfortunately, price didn't tag me in. The next candle printed the wick. The next candle after that, another wick. So this no longer was a clear pattern. I only wait for clear 10 out of 10 patterns that are really showing me momentum and that don't have wicks. Basically, when I see a pattern that has like a warning sign, I usually stay out. And these double wicks showed me a warning sign. Usually what happens after double wicks, we reverse. Second opportunity was right here. I do also take reversal trades when I see an ascending channel, which I was starting to see right here on the top because we broke, retraced, broke, retraced, broke, retraced, broke, and retraced. But I wanted to see a bigger red candle. So I wanted to see a red candle like this with a nice clean close. Then I would be 100% willing to take it, 100% interested, but this was not enough for me. So this candle printed a wick down, wick up, very, very bad warning sign. I'll show you an example of a really similar trade, which was in January. Same sort of methodology. Let's try to find it. Okay, it's right here. This is what I mean. So it's kind of the same with this ascending structure, ascending channel. So price is struggling to go up, but here there was a clear momentum shift, a clear big red candle showing me some large selling pressure. And yeah, so this trade I had an order on, 12 pip stop loss, and then I got tagged in and price just dropped heavily to the downside. So that's an example of what I'm looking for. Like everything needs to be perfect. But here right now it's looking ascending still, but kind of more range bound also. So I mean, we broke the low here, retraced, broke the low, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced again. So okay, we're starting to ascend again. I see that we broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced again. So I would look for a reversal, to be honest. Maybe we get a large push down, then I would look to sell here. Or maybe we get more of this ascending structure, then another reversal like I showed you just a couple of seconds ago. So I don't expect this to go up. I would say my bets, so 70% of the time, this sort of a pattern actually starts trending to the downside. So that's not the rule, of course. We can also get a push up. And then I would look to buy, but I wouldn't be so confident in placing buy orders. Also, we have a sort of a V reversal here. Maybe we get a range, push down, look to sell. Sort of a pattern. That's the sort of pattern that is very often in the Forex markets. That's about it for that one. AU. But first, let's see if there are any questions. Gold, Euro CAD. Okay, so we will do gold. We will do Euro CAD. But I first just need to finish my 6 pairs. AU is really looking really good. So this part was looking really ascending, to be honest. This part right here. But this part is now giving me some really nice, strong momentum, which I like to see. Always like to see 2 consecutive large blue candles. So I'm looking to buy here. Very, very interested in a buy, either on my break and retest or on the flag formation. So let's see what will happen. Again, price can also drop to the downside. We can get sort of a V reversal shape, something like this. So this V reversal range push down pattern, which happened right here. Can you spot it? Basically, V, range, and push up. Price continue trending up. So that's the sort of pattern that happens very often, also called the cup and handle. See? Cup, handle, goes up. So yeah, same thing. Okay, AJ, let's take a look at what AJ is doing. So AJ, for me personally, yeah, I wanted to see it continue trending up. At this point, definitely was interested to see it continue trending up, but unfortunately the next candle printed a large red momentum shift, so a very bad warning sign. At that point, I wasn't interested anymore in buying. Why? Well, because I'm seeing selling pressure. And also all of this price action was kind of ascending, so not giving me much confidence that the price will go up. There was sort of an opportunity to enter on a reversal, looks the same as the Euro-Japanese yen trade. But for me personally, on this pair, I'm a bit more patient with the reversals. They don't tend to play out as good as, let's say, Euro-Japanese yen. So all of these setups are pair dependent. Some work better on EJ, some work better on AJ, some work better on Aussie US dollar. So you need to test everything for the pair that you want to trade. Basically, this one, yeah, broke the high, broke the low with this sort of a wick. So kind of right there on the border. I didn't have my order on to sell. I just needed a bit more of a formation. Okay, so right now this is showing me a V. And as you remember, V reversal range push down. I would look to sell. Anything can happen. This can also go back up. If it goes up, I'll be very patient, very careful, because then it's kind of also showing me volatility. Just think about it. If you get a push up, push down, same sort of momentum, another push up with same sort of momentum, that's volatility. And as a trend trader, volatility, large indecision, large moves up, large moves down, not something I want to be seeing. I want to be seeing consecutive moves in one direction with small pullbacks. That's what I want to see as a trend trader. Okay, then we have the pound. The pound is moving. Not really moving that much. I am seeing a V and the range right here. So I expected this to push up, but I didn't get an opportunity to enter anywhere here. You might be wondering if I was interested to take this as a break and the retest, because this candle did break this high. So this high was broken, but it was barely broken. Let's see by how much. 0.4 pips. That's not enough for me. I want to see a bigger break like this. Also, just look at these 3 huge wicks. If that's not showing me rejection, I don't know what is. Just broke the high, printed a huge wick, broke the high again, huge wick, broke the high again, huge wick. So for 3 consecutive hours, this price was struggling to go up, printing huge wicks, possibly reaching major liquidity areas. This is usually a sign of a major resistance or a liquidity area.
or however you want to call it. But something is wrong here. If I'm looking to buy, this is showing me a warning sign. Okay, and then we basically pushed up, pulled back, pushed up again, pulled back, pushed up again, pulled back, and are now pushing up again. Yeah, I don't like this pullback. It's kind of deep. I'm seeing a bit of selling pressure. So I would potentially need to see a bigger move up, like a bigger candle. I'm waiting for more momentum, definitely waiting for more momentum, then either a flag or a possible break and they retest entry. So this one is not on my current watch list. On my current watch list is the Euro US dollar and the Aussie US dollar for now. Again, this can just print a V range, push down, get a trade. Let's see the comments. Lobby analysis. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm glad you like the analysis. It's very simple. No indicators, no news. I don't look at any news. I don't look at any lines, nothing like that. Basically pure candles. Only the candles and maybe some levels. Okay, sometimes I do look at some, let's say, resistance levels, but the main focus is the candles and the price action. So yeah, GU not on my radar right now. NJ was ranging right here, and it pushed into the liquidity area, sort of a liquidity area. Why is there a liquidity area above and below the range? Let me explain to you the methodology. So basically on the lower time frames, this is the 1 hour, but on the lower time frames, let's say the 5-minute, the 15-minute, traders are probably selling the top of this range or buying the bottom, maybe buying here, 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 buying here. So where do they keep their stops? Well, retail traders keep their stops above and below most recent highs or lows. So maybe here in this area, maybe here, all the way here, possibly they place their stops. I know also here on the bottom, here this point was low, this point was low. So those were some stop loss areas, and you can see we pushed into the liquidity area and immediately retraced. So pushed in, retraced. Why? Well, because there is a major resistance area here, major liquidity area full of stop losses, and kind of a barrier for the price to keep moving up. So that retrace was expected. What I'm seeing now is if this will continue or if this will, usually what we get here is price just kind of retraces and continues ranging around. But in some special occasions, if we're lucky, this will actually continue trending up, in which case I will look to buy on a flag or a break and a retest. This pair is definitely not on my radar because, again, it's at this zone right here where it can very easily just retrace, possibly show me a V reversal and a push down. So this is now a key moment for this pair. Will it break up or will it retrace back and do some crap move? Okay, so now we can do the comments. Great analysis. Cheers. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad you guys enjoy the analysis. So if you want any pairs or any questions, put them in the chat. So we will do gold and we'll do Euro CAD. Let's get started. Just minimize this. Okay, gold. Gold. To be honest, the strategy I trade doesn't work on gold. Just a disclaimer. I have tested it a little bit and yeah, doesn't really give me much confidence on gold. Gold is kind of erratic. How the price action looks on gold is, well, you get a drop, then pull back. Then you get a drop, pull back. Then you get a huge push up, something like this. So it's tough for me to get in the pullbacks here because the price is very erratic. The impulses are very quick, and my strategy, or the strategy I trade, tends to need a bit more slower price action, I would say, for me to get in, because I only get in on the pullbacks. I never get in on the impulse candles. But this is now showing me an impulse. I like it. I like this momentum. So if I was trading it, I would look for a flag formation here, or I would look for small pullback, break of the high, and retest. Okay. EuroCAD. Let's see EuroCAD. Okay, this one is a forex pair, so might be a bit better. Yeah, so if I squeeze out the price action on the 1 hour chart, it's looking very, very range bound. Does this look like it's moving anywhere? For me, it doesn't. It looks to be stuck in a range. If I see it stuck in a range and I'm a trend trader, then I just sit on my hands. Simple. I don't do anything because as a trend trader, I need to see a trend. I need to see something like this. For example, this was a very, very nice trend. Also, we got a flag here. First high, first low, second high, second low. This would have been the entry candle. As I said, I don't trade this pair, but this would have been an entry for me. A really nice trade. So yeah, EuroCAD currently is a range bound, but yeah, I would look for something like this. At this point, if you're live trading on the 1 hour chart, I would say be patient. If you're a trend trader, if you're a range trader, well, then this may be a good area for you. As I said, liquidity area above, possibly traders selling the top here, selling here, selling here. Then we push into the liquidity. You can see, push into the liquidity and we retrace. So that's expected because this is a highly valuable or interest area or whichever name you want to call it. What I need to know is, will the price move into this area with resistance or will it just glide through? And I know there is a liquidity area, so the price will most probably reject. So I need to see a nice break. Nice break up. And then an entry or nice breakdown and then an entry to sell. One pattern I see commonly happen is usually the big players, the ones who actually control the market, the ones who push the markets up and down because they have huge positions. Market makers, big players, yeah, Illuminati, whichever name you want to give them, they find a liquidity area and then they ascend into it, basically taking out all of the stops, taking out all of these stop losses, and then they reverse the price. They fill up their big positions. Right here, fill up big sell positions and then completely reverse the price. And that's when I am interested in selling. I want to sell when they're selling. So I want to get in after they have built up their positions and after I see some indication of big players. What is an indication of big players? Well, consecutive blue or consecutive red candles. Something like this. Or as I just showed you. This is a signature of big players. See, consecutive blue candles, large blue candles. Do you think retail traders can do something like this? They absolutely cannot. This is a move of the big players, the market makers, which have big positions, and they dictate will the price go up or will the price go down. So that's who you need to follow. Usually, retail traders get stopped out. 95% of them lose. So usually it's your best bet to do the opposite of the retail traders. And as it turns out, in most cases, market makers do the exact opposite of the retail. Okay, AJ. Yeah, sure, we can repeat AJ. So AJ is the one I trade live. And for this pair, to be honest, well, I don't see much potential. I'm seeing a big ascending structure, after which I expect the price to go down. So basically, possibly a V range push down. This is a pattern that usually happens. If this sort of pattern happens, I will look to sell. But right now, I need to see more price action. This pair is not on my watch list. I'm leaving it alone. Again, if it moves down, I'll look to sell. If it moves up, I'll be careful because then that is kind of erratic price action with moves up, moves down, moves up. Not really showing me confidence. So not the best pair currently. Market makers are accumulating short trades on S&P, SPX, short some worrying of going long. So yeah, unfortunately, I only do Forex. I don't know what to tell you. We can take a look, but I only look at the price action. So to me, it's not really important who is buying, who is selling. Are the big guys buying, big guys selling? I mean, it is important, but I look at it from the price perspective. So if there is a big candle, if there are big red candles, then I want to sell. If there are big blue candles, then I want to buy. It doesn't really matter who is buying or who is selling, or is the retail long, is the retail short. I only focus on how big are the candles and how does the price action look like. Is it trending or range bound? Or is there a high probability pattern which shows me the price is more likely to go up, let's say. So yeah, I don't really care who is in the market, who's buying, who's selling. And yeah, I only look at the price. GBPAUD. GBPAUD. Okay. This one, I'm starting to see momentum. Definitely starting to see potential momentum. Prior price action was not looking that good. Range bound, corrective. Definitely not trending. Definitely not trending, but now I'm starting to see some potential in this leg right here. So consecutive big red candles, I'm starting to see momentum, and I would look to sell on this momentum right here. On a flag or on a break and a retest. If this retraces, be very, very careful. I would leave it alone. If this goes back up, just leave it alone. So if it forms a sell entry, I would take it. If it goes back up, no go for me. More value to go long on oil. Yeah, oil I also don't trade live. If we have the time, we will take a look at oil. What trades are you personally in right now? Currently, I'm not in any trades, but I see some potential, as I said, on the Euro US dollar and on the Aussie US dollar to buy, potential to buy. So they are on my watch list. I will be watching them closely in the next few hours, seeing if a trade will form. Okay, Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD. Let's see Aussie CAD. So Aussie CAD not really showing me much potential. Again, large range here. Sort of a descending, breaking these major lows. As you can see here. Taking out the liquidity. So I'm expecting the price to push up. But again, am I seeing some massive momentum moves? To be honest, I'm not. I'm seeing momentum here, but then large double wicks, which usually signal a reversal. As a trend trader, I hate large double wicks. They're the worst. And then basically we get a huge red candle. Then we range around and we are now continuing with momentum. So I am expecting this to push up, but I'm not seeing evidence price really wants to push up. Here I'm seeing a bit of unclear indecision. So I would need to get at least one more nice big blue candle, and then I would look for, let's say, a flag formation or a break and a retest. So yeah, that would be about it. We have kind of run out of time. Let's quickly run through the pairs. So I only look at the charts on top of every hour, and as it is now 14:58 my time, or sorry, 15:58 my time, still looking to buy. EU, EJ, yeah, now broke the low, retraced. AU still looking to buy. I'm seeing some nice momentum. AJ, again, just to repeat, not seeing anything right now. Pound breaking, retracing, not good. NJ into liquidity area right now. Let's see if this will continue or retrace back into the range. So that's it for this live stream. If you guys want to check out my channel, it is Markos Trading Journey. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you're looking to get funded, check out Superfunded's examination today and get 10% off when you use the code A1 Trading. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.